threshed his arm with me bare hands. Weaker than pixies, humans.
Oh, you got him good.
And what are you doing here with that stink on your face? Humans think they can do whatever they want. Think you rule the world, huh?
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority. A shadow swims across your vision, and a familiar voice tells you to be calm. You are loved.
Forgive me. I had no idea. The other true souls are inside, planning and such.
It's got a beak like any other chicken, don't it? Well, now, you look like a tough un, but have you got smarts, skills, guts? And you're gonna need it, mate. This ain't your standard dungeon dive, right? This is chicken chasing. Only the greatest game since eggs sprouted legs, mate. You just gotta chase the chicken round the course and through the posts. But that ain't all. Gotta do it quick and alone. Any of your mates step in, you lose. Time runs out, you lose. Sound easy? It ain't. Better contenders than you have been bested by the bird. It's got feathers, don't it? A beak? Besides, I reckon it owes us, seeing as I just ate our last chicken. Now you wanna play? Or is there a bit of chicken in you and all? Fancy yourself, do you? Care to pin that claim down with some coin? Cocky, eh? Maybe you've got the skill to back it up. Or maybe I'm about to make a heap of coin. Let's get a crowd going and find out, eh? We're starting a new game! Move your eyes! Get close to the beast. If he bites, just right him back. Get me. Bite! Eat! Bite! Go on! Getting close to the beast.
If you're planning to talk to the drow, watch yourself. She's in a right mood.
Don't go bothering my pigeon. He's mine. Keep him safe. Listen to him coo. Till I gets hungry or some such. What's it to ya? Then catch one on your own.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Take him for a joke, why don't ya? And don't let the lads snatch him up. No, tell him what they'll do to him. Bring him back when he's all tuckered out. Here's the key. Pigeon's all yours.
Look at this! I'm quite saved! I guarantee the story of your daring rescue of my person will live on for eons. Volothemp Gedar, realm-renowned author, auteur, and tastemaker at your service. Once I've written you into one of my books, there won't be a tavern in Faerun you can enter without receiving a hero's welcome. We mustn't tarry, but I'd hate for our friendship to end here. Please, won't you meet me once we've both slipped the goblin yoke? Why, by design, my friend. How better to learn the ways of a people than to live among them? I dare say the experiment has proven most fruitful, too. I'll be happy to share my findings once we've found somewhere safe to parley. An invisibility potion, my friend. A bit less refined than your mendacious methods, but by God, thought it'll do the trick. Smashing! Soon, my friend. Soon we can share a flagon of something liquid and a tale of daring do. I'll slip away when the coast is clear. See you soon, my friend. I simply can't wait to pick your brain!
Late? Poor lad. I could give you peace, you know. But no. You gotta keep silent, don't you? Where do they flee to, you stubborn rat?
Please, stop!
Ah, here to see your friend, have ya? Come and join him if you like.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
We do all the work, and you get to finish him? Bah! Take him! Won't do you any good. He just screams. I should have sent him to Moonrise with the rest for all the good he's been. I want to watch that weird priest next door. Sounded like he was beating something up. Oh yeah, beating it good.
Please, please! Let me out! There's no reason for this. I was with a group of adventurers. We came here for an artifact. It's called the Night Song. We tried to sneak past the goblins, but they ambushed us. I didn't think a pack of goblins could be so efficient. I don't know. The boss didn't say. He just said some wizard called Leroican would reward us if we found it.
It should be here somewhere. He said there was a hidden passage underneath the temple.
The place was supposed to be abandoned when we arrived.
I'm not sure. All I know is there's a passageway to the Night Song.
Brian had instructions, but the goblins got him. They said they'd eat him. Please, these shackles. I don't want to die.
Halsin, I don't know. He changed into a bear, but I lost sight of him. I don't know if he's still alive.
That's all I know. Please, get me out of here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You struggle with the set of lockpicks until they are bent entirely out of shape. The lock won't budge. The lock clicks and opens.
Thank you. I better go before they catch us. I should be able to make it to the Grove on my own. They need to know they're in danger.
The Grove. To the east. They wanted to know where we came from. They'll kill everyone. Please, I need to warn them.
Greetings, child. I've met few aside from goblins here.
You recognize the Scourge. This man is a follower of Leviata, goddess of pain.
Ah, are you also here to assist with the prisoner.
Please. The things they do to that man? So crude and primitive. I was invited to teach them. I live for pain and its intricacies, you see. But, alas.
Pain without purpose is a terrible thing. Wouldn't you agree?
Exactly. Pain is an intimate thing. It should be delivered with a loving and measured hand. But trying to discuss such subtleties with these creatures is simply... Forgive me, but that look in your eyes, something terrible has happened to you. Because I see those same eyes when I look in the mirror, dear one. We've all suffered in these dark times. It is little wonder you bear scars of pain and anguish. Please, let me alleviate this pain. As the Maiden of Pain, the goddess Loviatar teaches us, through penance, administered by my skilled hand. My work can grant peace and serenity, the likes of which few experience. It will be worth it. I promise.
Go ahead. I'm sure you're in need of a little penance.
Oh, I have something exquisite in mind. Both Loviatar and I are interested in how you handle pain, dear one. And should you delight her, you will most assuredly receive her most gracious blessing. Trust me. Simply face the wall, and we can begin. Good. Turn towards the wall. The pain you suffer will cleanse you. Do not fight it. Your voice sounds so sweet, dear one. Keep going.
Would you have joined up with him if you'd known he'd be indulging in this sort of thing, Astarion?
I mean, I had my hopes.
Pain is proof that we live. Revel in it. That's it, dear one! Let Loviatar hear you!
My. Who knew our friend had so much blood in them?
Try not to lick your lips as you say that.
You are doing so well! Do not give in now! Yes, you can, child! Take the pain and offer it up to Loviatar. Offer it all. Sweet child, you bore the pain like a true believer. I am proud to have served you this penance. I know, dear one, that was my favorite part. Loviatar herself found your performance inspiring. She has deemed you worthy of her blessing. And on a personal note, thank you. That was positively divine.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mind flayers, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company. Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know. Quite shocking. The druid Halson had some kind of mind flare specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close. As a matter of fact, I do. But why do you? That can't be. You're either an excellent storyteller, or you've experienced something quite exceptional. Tell me, have you noticed any residual psionic malaise since the alleged encounter? That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceramorphosis by now. I can't attest to the specifics, but I do know that not long after insertion, the host, that's you, turns into a mind flayer. As there's not a tentacle on your head, I can only assume you haven't been infected. If what you say were true, you'd be a mind flayer by now. You? Infected by a mind flayer? Ridiculous. Isn't it? Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim. If I just peer in your eye, I could quickly... Oh, dear sweet gods! If we managed it, we'd have a specimen of incredible rarity on our hands. I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
See? It squealed! Hit it again!
Keep your hands steady, 3.
Stop them! Free me!
Again! Again! Make it squeal again.
We're juicing it up. The beast came in here with those robbers, killed Dink and Mince too. Boss is thinking of serving it to the wargs.
And it makes funny noises.
We made it squeal.
Look, you'll see. Give me that rock. I'll show ya.
What here? Get lost if you can't stand a bit of roughhousing.
Release me! Get rid of them! Time for blood!
Pardon the viscera. One should cherish all of nature's bounty, but goblin guts are quite far down the list. Not only do you speak with a bear, but you free it too? A true friend of nature. Or perhaps a lunatic. Either way, I owe thanks. I am the druid Halson. I must admit, I didn't expect anyone would come to my aid. Who in their right mind would infiltrate a goblin-infested temple? Unless... that look in your eyes. I've seen it before. Are you feeling all right? Oak Father preserve you, child. You're infected, aren't you? The Mind Flayer's spawn. But something's different. You're aware of the monster inside you. You don't bow to the Absolute like the true souls do. How is this possible? That looks very alien. As alien as the Mind Flayers. They do not belong on this world. It's no coincidence that you found me here, I'll wager. You're after a cure for this parasite. I've been studying these parasites for a while now. Ever since I discovered these so-called true souls are infected with them. Someone is using very powerful magic to modify these tadpoles. They're using them to exert control over the infected. I'm sorry to say, I can't undo that magic, which means I can't cure you. But that doesn't mean I can't help. I didn't find what I came here for, a way to remove the tadpoles, but I found the next best thing. I found out where they come from. That must be where these enchantments are placed on them. And it's where you'll find your cure. I overheard that the cultists are sending all of their captives to Moonrise Towers. Innocents go in, true souls come out. Given that all of these true souls are infected, it has to be the source for this magic. If you want to find a cure, you must head there and discover how the tadpoles are being manipulated. Wait, I could help you find a cure. But I need to settle matters here first. I've no right to ask more of you. But if you could help me, I'd be free to join your journey to Moonrise. I cannot allow these butchers to threaten my grove. The natural order must be protected. My thanks. If you prevail, I'll owe you the debt of a lifetime. Rare is the beast that survives decapitation. Help me eliminate the Drow Minthara, the Hobgoblin Draw Ragslin, and that perversion of a priestess, Gut. They are the ones holding these parasites together. Remove them, and nature will cure itself. There is no safety. Not while this rot festers. Once it is cut out, once the grove is secure, then I shall leave. Be warned. My presence could make things more difficult. I can only restrain my bear form so much. I won't be able to help but attack goblins. If I join you, we'll likely have to slaughter this entire place. You may want to use discretion when approaching the goblin leaders. May Sylvanus guide your hand. Focus on the leaders. That's all it will take to restore the balance here.
Sugan al Sukok, Otaisho Kek Doors! I command you, corpse. Speak. Reveal truth to the Absolute!
By Vlaakith's blade, a geich.
Nothing. Must be reading it wrong. Sugan al Sukok!
The hobgoblin turns to you, and the parasite squirms in your skull. You taste the ale on his tongue and the bile in his soul. The visions cloud your inner eye for a brief moment once again. You see the hobgoblin bowing before the armored elf you'd glimpsed before. The elf speaks of the hunt for a great weapon and the rewards that will go to whoever finds it. The hobgoblin's eyes gleam hungrily.
If it isn't another true soul.
He doesn't speak his next words, yet they still rattle your skull from within.
You ever talk to a dead squid? Now's your chance.
This Mind Flayer's build is smaller, its garb plainer. A fearsome creature even in death, but not the one that tormented you. Yet it too roamed the Nautiloid. It would have seen you, known you.
Absolute says the dead squiddy had a weapon. I reckon the killer nabbed it and scooted off to that looter camp. We find who killed it, and we find who took that weapon. So settle in.
You feel Shadowheart's anxiety. The weapon the Absolute seeks. It's the artifact that she carries. The same one that protected you as you entered the goblin camp. Her mind focuses. Their suspicion cannot be aroused. They cannot discover that the weapon they seek is within their grasp. You choke on black smoke as the hobgoblin bellows his incantation.
I command you, corpse, speak and say sooth. Lucan ok al koldek shulkok hank.
The hideous corpse rises, tentacles writhing. Your heart seizes. Under questioning, the creature might recognize you as its killer. Raxlin's mind reels, then calms. He will speak as you command. With Raxlin's voice, you ask,
Who killed you?
Raxlin remains composed. If he senses your manipulations, he gives no sign. The creature responds, not in words, but memories. You see a clawed hand open a holding pod, devoid of flesh, only darkness.
Damn it! That tells me nothing!
Raxlin remains ignorant to your presence in his mind murk. You choose your next question.
Who is the Absolute?
Raxlin frowns in confusion at a question he would never have asked. You see an image. Curved drow blades, crude goblin torches, gnoll teeth dripping blood. You see other mind flayers arranged in a serene circle. Absolute unity. Absolute power.
You're kidding me. Very helpful, squid.
Suspicion floods Raxlin's mind. Your brain howls as you force a final query into his throat.
That's all you've got? Tell me what the killer looks like!
Another vision. You see a clawed hand open a holding pod, and the murk clears to reveal a face. Yours.
That can't be. You're no true soul. Yeah, you're right. You're a real true soul. I felt it.
The corpse collapses, silent once more.
No! I'm not done! Riddles, all of it, and nothing to show for the trouble but rotting squid meat. No answers, no killer, and no damned weapon. That damned Drow was right. Can't let her get all of that glory. Seems I ain't done with you. Report to the Drow. Minthara's the name. She's mounting an attack on that blasted grove. Tell her you'll join her. Praise the Absolute. You fertilize. You defile the Absolute's name. Boys! Eat this!
One horn, the stink of Avernus, Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you.
Karlach, the Archdevil Zariel's gladiator, come to burn the Sword Coast to ash.
Well, not counting the fuckers that need a good hurting.
Shut it, devil. I know your kind. A heart darker than a shadow's nightmares. You'd cut a child's throat just to taste the blood.
A devil? I didn't take the blade for a fool. I'm...
A great fire roars through you. The fire of the first hell. You are Karlach, tearing through demons across a blood-red landscape of fire and volcanic cinder. The front lines of the Blood War. With every swing of her axe, Karlach fulfills Mistress Zariel's purpose.
Proof, clear as summer sky. It's over, Karlach. It's time you feel the sting of the blade.
I've tried to tell you. I'm not what you think I am.
Another vision. Karlach's blade rays slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Will shudders with Karlach's desperation. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
By Balduran's helm, No, I will not be tricked.
You saw the truth. I may be an effective soldier, but I never wanted to serve Zariel. Legged it away from her the first chance I got.
And yet you served. No! Devils cannot be trusted!
Would you listen to sense? This doesn't have to end badly for either of us. You know monsters better than anyone. Can't you look in my eyes and see I'm not a devil?
You don't know what this means. You don't know what you're asking me to do.
I'm asking you to live, Will. I don't want to hurt you. And to be frank, I'd rather not find out how the blade got his name. I swear to you, on all I am not what you think.
Shit! Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce. I see the good in you, Karlach. I promise not to lose sight of it. Even when the hells burn hottest.
Will's brows furrow as your minds connect. He sees the burning embers of Joaquin's rest, then Floric's face as she tells you of Ravengard's abduction.
Hells. Older Ravengard's been taken. I know him better than most. He's my father. I know I haven't said. Our relation was no matter of pride, not least for him. Thank you. That means a lot. But I wonder, what makes a Duke of Baldur's Gate so interesting to the Drow? Even the houses of Menz Oberanzen would have little use for my father. No, this is no Drow plot. These absolute nutters, these true souls are behind his abduction. His absence alone will sow chaos in the city. If they were to infect him, he could lead Baldur's Gate to ruin. All the more reason to find him. The Absolute has seized not just my father, but the future of the Sword Coast. I know, and you're right. When I look into a mirror, I see two faces. I see the Blade of Frontiers, a man hunting the fiends who prey on the weak and claw at the coast. And I see Will Ravengard, a memory of a memory. A man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind. I'm all for it. My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. After my exile, I was hunting near the Cloakwood. I heard a child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. No, but he named me friend, and that meant the world. But what of the others? The children never saved, the cries never heard. In the boy's tears, I finally saw the suffering wrought by the villains of the wild. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. It was an even bloodier day, and a stronger foe. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
Tiny grooves spider across the eye's surface. It resembles a sending stone used to confer with distant contacts.
A sending stone? Nothing so special, I assure you.
His breathing quickens, his jaw tenses. Will is keeping something from you. A strange sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed. You focus on the source of the power, but it is quiet and still. It needs to rest.
Glad Will saw sense. Even more glad he decided to stick around. Takes a pretty slick mover to track down old Karlach. Fair, but still, the man's got a reputation for being lethal with that blade. I'm glad it's on our side.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep, just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all. I assure you, I've dreamt of it 1,000 times over. You won't find a more learned opinion on this matter, I assure you.
Volo carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle.
Don't fidget. The needle must slip behind your eye, not through it.
The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volo frowns and begins to push. Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it!
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement.
Volo carefully withdraws the needle from your eye. Then, reaching into his bag, he produces an ice pick. Volo slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now, don't move.
Cold metal presses against the skin beneath your brow. And then, tap, tap, stab.
Do you feel that? I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further.
Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Drat!
He pauses, looks down at your eye, and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
There appears to be an amount of cosmetic damage. Yes, quite. Well, there is some mild trauma. I can't help but feel partly responsible. Perhaps there is something more I can do. Take this. A far superior relic to that old jelly you were chained to. Try it on for size. And, it was very nice to have met you. I'm sure you'll sort out your little brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend. Ta.